Can you sum up how you perceive this kind of accommodation based on what you've been told about it?
I wouldn't place my 16 or 17-year-old in this accommodation. Why should we be placing other 16 and 17-year-olds in this twilight world where at a very vulnerable age where they need the greatest level of support, we are abandoning them to paedophiles and organised crime gangs?
It's strong stuff from an MP whose parliamentary group investigates missing children. But these grave concerns are backed up by evidence her team has gathered from police forces across England and Wales. They've given Newsnight exclusive access to their findings.
The police are very concerned about the risk that they are being exposed to from organised crime and those who would exploit children. They're very concerned about the number of times that these children are going missing and don't know what's happened to them. And the picture overall is of a dumping children and leaving them to fend for themselves and take their chances with what can be a very brutal and exploitative world.
80% of the police forces that responded raised concerns about this accommodation. They share fears about homes that are cheap and poorly managed with little safeguarding, high numbers of children going missing from them repeatedly, vulnerable children housed with young offenders, and children put at risk of sexual and criminal exploitation. So what's the answer for teenagers who've often already had such difficult lives? They bring with them vulnerabilities that need specialist care and attention. It's clear many aren't getting it, and the pressure to regulate is mounting.
I believe that the system can't afford not to make these changes. Yes, you will have costs at the beginning, but the costs of finding missing children, the costs of dealing with these children when they become even further victimised, having to have mental health support and supporting their adult life going forward, and them being in the criminal justice system, actually cost much more than the regulation in the first place.
If you're putting someone who's vulnerable in an even more vulnerable position, that's not doing what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be taking care of them.
They're paying these companies thousands, but not actually checking where the money's going. And I think Ofsted would be a very minor cost compared to the benefits that they would gain.
Of course, there is a profit to be made. It is a business. And it is a business that they know that they are going to get an endless supply of young people. If that is to work, it is absolutely essential that that market is regulated in a way that meets the needs of children.